waiting for YouTube. Right, YouTube sorted now. Guys watching this, as I always say at the start of these now, I've started my YouTube channel. Well, I've not started, I've had it for a while, but I'm becoming more active on there. So you can go and find me, Type 1 Tom, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I think we can get straight into it. Right. Let's just make sure everything's good. We'll give it a quick test. We'll play it back, make sure we're good. We'll give it a quick test. Hey, we're golden. We're rolling. Right. 3, 2, 1. Yes, team, what's happening? Welcome to another episode of the Type 1 Movement Podcast, the number one podcast and the number one place to be if you're a Type 1 diabetic. Firstly, thanks for being here and giving me your ears and listening to this today. I truly appreciate you for all your support and listening to my podcast and watching my lives and stuff and just supporting me and my vision and what I'm doing. And hopefully you guys are getting something back from that as well. Well, I know that you are with all the messages I get. So I just want to start this episode by saying thank you guys. As much as you reach out to me, say we appreciate you, thank you and all that, I am exactly the same. The feeling's totally mutual to you guys. So thank you so much for being you and being in this amazing Type 1 community. So guys, before we get started, please leave me a rating and a review on the podcast app, as it really does help me reach more Type 1 diabetics and positively impact our community. Also, screenshot and share it. Tag me on your Instagram stories at Type1_Tom. Right. This episode is going to be about, it's the small decisions that add up. So guys, I want you to we're going to get straight into this. Actually, I'm going to open with this. I have check-in calls with my clients, and a lot of the time after they've been on my program a few weeks, the calls go down in length most of the time because I'm like, it's great, just keep doing what you're doing. And that's such a fucking great place to be in, right? Because it's like, yeah, your controls improve so much, time in target, you're feeling good, you're understanding, you've got all this knowledge, you know how to make these adjustments. Awesome. Keep going. Be consistent. And that's such a good place to be in. And most of my clients will turn around when they're in that place and say to me, you know what? I feel like when I go throughout my day, I can just make these decisions. I'm just making decisions quite quickly based on all you've taught me. And I'm no longer, we're always going to be having to think about our diabetes or what we're eating, how much insulin to give, all that sort of good shit. We're always going to have some level of thought over it. But when you get to a certain position, it's like it doesn't take up that much brain power. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's say, learning to squat, right? If you've ever squatted, remember your first time trying to squat and how much effort it took. Yeah. And then if you roll on a few months after squatting consistently for so long, it comes effortlessly, right? And managing your diabetes is like that. And this is what some of my clients are saying to me. I feel like I'm just going through my day and I'm making these decisions. And I want you to understand, team, that having great blood glucose control is made up by small decisions that you're in control over. It's not made up by a huge change. It's not made up by changing the way that you manage it with technology, getting a new CGM, going from pens to a pump, changing your fucking insulin. It's not made up by these big things. It's made up by small daily decisions that a lot of the time you probably think, oh, it's only a one-off. It doesn't really matter. But it does. And I want you to understand it's the little things. It's like achieving anything. It's the little things that add up to the big wins. And these are what compound over time. Yeah. And it's the same with managing your blood glucose. I spoke about this a few times, but I'm going to shortly get into what some of these sort of small decisions are, because it's so easy to overlook it and think it doesn't matter. And these are things that as you go throughout your day, you are making decisions, whether it's you're conscious of them or you're not. And it's at the start, like a lot of my clients say, God, when they come to the program, there's a lot to think about. And there is a lot to think about. But the more you put the work in now, the easier that these decisions become automatic that you make each day down the line. Yeah. So that goes for fucking anything. Work hard at the start And as you progress further, it becomes much easier. It becomes more automatic. It becomes more habitual. It's like second nature. And managing your diabetes is just the same. So, guys, there's so many small decisions that you'll be making throughout your day that will contribute to your blood glucose control. But I want to go through just a few. And I'm going to see if I can give you some pointers on this. I like to add as much value as possible to you guys. Okay, so the biggest one, I've spoke about this so many times before. The biggest one is waiting until you're in your range to eat, or at the lower end of your range. With me, I tend to not eat unless I'm like 4 to 6, 4 to 7. That's in moles. So that's in my range, at the lower end of my range. Why? Because I understand I'm going to get a spike. You're naturally going to get a spike, depending on foods, but the majority of them, if you're eating normally, like, you're going to get some sort of rise in your glucose level. Now, if you're at the higher end of your range and you eat and you get a spike, you come back down into range, okay. But if you're at the lower end of your range and you eat and you don't go out of range, that's going to improve your time in target range massively. So I spoke about this in episodes before. That's just a quick one on that. So small decision, wait until you're in range to eat. Such a small decision, but it can make such a huge difference to like your time in range, right? Another one that I wish you all should know about, fucking spread the word, is pre-bolusing. I spoke about this in my last episode. And this is rapid acting insulin, isn't rapid. It actually, when you eat, if you're injecting then, you're getting big spikes and all that shit, it's because you're not pre-bolusing. Insulin takes about 20 minutes, stick with me on this, about 20 minutes to start working. Even then, you're probably not going to notice it impacting your glucose level. It's peaking around the 2 to 3 hour mark. That's where it's doing most of its work. Yeah. So this is why we say, maybe it's a 5-minute pre-bolus and then eating. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's 15 minutes. For me personally, in the morning, it's about 40 to 45 minutes that I need to inject before I actually start eating. So another small decision you can make is pre-bolusing. Another one, guys, and I'm big on this, you know this, is walking, going out for walks throughout your day. Also, if you're one of these and you find you pre-bolus, you get your insulin to carb ratio right, but when you eat a certain meal, you get a big spike still. Walk after you've eaten. It's going to help your insulin work faster. And you should be taking breaks throughout your day and walking anyway. It's just fucking incredible. It's incredible. At the time of recording this, I'm actually getting involved with Diabetes UK for the 1 million step challenge. It's posted on my Facebook and on my Instagram. You can go and get involved in that. But walking is just a little decision. It might be a 5-minute walk. It might be a 10-minute walk. It's going to help your control so much. It's just a small decision you can do. Moving on is another one that seems so simple, but you'll be surprised at the amount of type 1s that don't do this as frequently as they should. And that's testing your blood glucose more. If you're wanting to improve your blood glucose control, test more. Scan, even if you're using a Dexcom or a Libre, I still recommend pricking your fingers. Some people have said, I don't need to. Shut the fuck up. And I'll be honest with you, because Libres and Dexcoms can be out. Technology can be out. Nothing, is replacing finger pricks yet. So still prick your damn fucking finger. But getting back to this point, testing your blood glucose more, it might be 1 or 2, 3, 4 times extra throughout the day. Do you know what I mean? Just to give you an idea of what's going on. That's just a small decision. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all. Do you know what I mean? You've got a countdown on your fucking finger prick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 3, 2, 1 tells you. Doesn't take long. So test more. If you want to improve your blood glucose control, test it more. Know where you're at more. Another one, and this is another kind of big one. And I say to all my clients, like, when we're looking to control levels and improve the health and the blood glucose, we've got to make it livable and sustainable, right? And I'll get onto this one in a sec. And it's not eating a large or high fat meal before bed. Guys, if you find you've done basal rate tests, and a lot of my clients, I'm heavy on this with them and with myself, if you find you've done basal rate tests, you're happy with your levels overnight, yeah, but then you're getting spikes overnight because you're eating too close to bed and your meal's a big meal, so it's needing an extended bolus if you're on a pump or a split bolus, or it's high fat and it's causing a delayed spike. If you're finding that, yeah, but you know it's not basal, that's fine. I've tested that. I'm fucking happy with that. And you're eating close to bed and that's causing you an issue, in the nicest possible way, what's the solution? I'm asking you, what's the solution? Stop eating fucking so close to bed and stop eating a large or high-fat meal before bed if you need to eat close to bed. It's just a simple decision that can make a whole lot of difference to your blood glucose, especially overnight. And we need to understand, guys, when I'll be honest, when clients come into me, that's the first thing we start looking at, their basal insulin overnight. We try and get them in range overnight if they're not already, because the first thing is your night times, it's like 7 to 8 hours. It's a huge part of your day. If you can get in range overnight, it's going to help your 24-hour time in target range, right? Another thing is you will know, team, what it feels like if you wake up out of range. How shit does that feel? I know some of you will be like, yeah, I know what he's on about. I know what I'm on about because I'm just like you and it happens to me at times. If we wake up high, we feel shit, our mouth's dry, our bodies might ache. I know that's the case with me. I'm like, oh, feels fucking hanging. The same if we're waking up low as well, right? It's not nice being woken up by a hypo. So managing to keep yourself in range overnight is the first thing that I work on with clients. And for you as well, if you want to take this and run with it. So if you're looking to improve your blood glucose control, sort your overnight out. It's the first one. The last thing that I want to cover on this about the small decisions that add up is not eating picky bits. Now, this is probably for you who've got kids. If you're making their dinner, their lunch, something, and you just pick and eat something. Yeah. Or if you're out, you're walking back, I'll just have one sweet. I'll just have something. You know, the picky bits that you just don't think about, and you don't bolus for. Sometimes these can cause a huge spike. I've known type 1s, I've worked with a few, and we've been like, right, look, you got a big spike. Do you know what happened? No. Everything was all right. Like, it was fine. I was out and stuff like that. Right, okay, just stop a minute. Think back well, my mate offered me a sweet, but it was only one sweet, and I thought I didn't really think about it. There we go. That's what caused the spike. So it's just these small decisions that you can make throughout your day that are gonna add up, yeah? Because it's not a huge thing. I can't fucking stress this enough to your team. Stop looking for a big aha moment to improve your blood glucose control and your health, because it doesn't work that way. It's small decisions, yeah? It's small decisions. So a little bit of accountability as we come to the end here now, team. And this goes for all of you. Think about the decisions. You might have to take a bit of quiet time to do this and fucking get a pen and paper out. Let's go old school, as you always like to say. Yeah? Get a pen and paper out. Think about the decisions you're making throughout your day that's impacting your blood glucose. Yeah? And write them down and have a look. See if it's making a positive impact or it's making a negative impact. Have a look and see how you can switch them around. Yeah? One that I missed there, looking back on my list, that I do want to cover is sleep. Sleep is a big one. If you're sleep deprived, your insulin sensitivity is going to decrease, meaning you're more resistant. You're going to be stressed. You're not going to want to work out. You're not going to want to walk, as we spoke about. Your nutrition choices are going to be worse. You're probably going to be picking up more of these fucking picky bits because you're tired. So sleep's another big thing, yeah? But moving on, this little bit of accountability. Take a few minutes out of your day, yeah? Or now, grab yourself a pen and paper, and then just think back what decisions you make that are impacting your blood glucose on a daily basis. Yeah. You can even put them into columns, couldn't you? One that, that's helping my blood glucose, one that isn't. Yeah. And it's just going to be about being aware of the decisions that you're making. Yeah. And writing them down is going to make you aware of it. You might not even realize that you're doing something until you fucking stop and think about it. Yeah. And I do want to stress that again. It is the small decisions that add up daily. Like I said, Jim, a lot of my clients, when they've been with me a few weeks or they're coming towards the end of the program, or even some right at the start, like I've got awareness now, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm just making decisions. It's just flowing through on a daily basis. And it takes a lot of work to get there, but it is doable. Yeah. And it is these small decisions that will add up. They're going to add up over time. They're going to compound. And that's how you're going to start to improve your blood glucose and your health at the end of the day. It's not going to be a big aha moment. It's going to be small things that add up over time. So I am going to leave it there. Yeah. Like I said at the start, if you actually know, I know you would have got value from this, as I always say on most of my episodes, because you guys reach out and tell me. Yeah. So please leave me a rating and review on the podcast app. And also feel free to screenshot, share it to your Instagram stories and tag me at @1_Tom. I want to finish with what I said at the start, team. Like, a lot of you reach out and say, thank you. You've helped me in this, that, this way or the other, even guys that aren't my clients. And you're sending me messages and emails and stuff. And I love that. And I want to say, I appreciate you guys appreciating me, but I am thankful and appreciative for you as well. Yeah. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have no ears and I wouldn't have no one to impact. So we are, as much as I think you guys might look at me as like an influencer and shit like that, I hate that. Like, I hate being labeled like an influencer and that sort of shit, or inspirational. Like I'm just who I am, and I'm just doing what I kind of enjoy to do to make a difference for you guys, because I know how difficult it is living with type 1 diabetes and how stressful it could be. So I'm like, right. And that's why I'm here and I'm doing this at the end of the day, because I'm like, right, if I can make a positive impact in some way, shape or form, why not do it? And I won't be able to do that unless it was for you guys. So as much as you guys say we appreciate you, like, I appreciate you as well. And I just want to finish on that today. I want to thank you for listening to this episode today. Yeah. And as we always finish, until the next episode, team, peace. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Do we have any questions? I'm going to stay on for a minute or two in case we have any questions. We'll give it a quick flick through. Yeah, it's got some emojis. Cool. Dave, your brother on the side note is absolutely uplifting. See your mum doing so well. This calls for a DJ Tommy Gun appearance. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, she's doing mega. Like, oh, I'm so proud of her. It's crazy, like, seeing her be able to walk and that. And I know she watches these. Mom, I fucking love you. I'm proud of how far you've come. Be fucking running with me soon, telling you. Yeah, we need another DJ sesh at some point. I will get one sorted at some point. Where are we? My life is picky bit. So if you're aware of it, fucking stop. I suppose, team, like, I'm not knocking, picky bits and stuff like that, snacks or what have you. I'm just saying, have awareness over it and know that you're probably going to have to bolus for them as well, depending on what they are. Yeah, just have awareness. Awareness is a huge thing. If you're aware you're doing something, then one, you're going to be able to bolus, or two, if you don't want to do it, you're going to be able to stop doing it. Yes, man, my coach. Love that. Fred with a sleep. Got some thumbs up. Owen, hey, my man, what's the fucking crack? Yes. Right, team. I'm going to jump off. Thank you very much for watching this live. I appreciate you as always. And yeah, I've not really got anything insightful to finish with. I'm pretty fucking tired today as well, actually. Probably tell. Actually, no, I'm not pretty tired. I'm fucking very tired recently. Don't know why. But I'm sure I'll get to the bottom of it at some point. So, right, I'm going to jump off, team. Until the next live, thank you. Love you. Peace. I feel like I'm closing so many things down now. Cheers, YouTube.